Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about your financial abundance. We're going to be talking about what is stopping you, what is preventing you, what you need to do, and how to really get yourself out of a situation that you may not be necessarily all that happy with. So in honor of Taurus season, it's been so long since I've done anything other than just monthly readings. I really wanted to do something fun and timeless. Okay, so this is going to be no timestamp, no zodiac sign, just a really free form type of reading that if you're here, if you're on this message, then it is definitely meant for you. So we have in front of us 3 different decks, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle these in front of you and I'm going to pull a card, and then whichever pile you feel the most drawn towards, that's going to be the pile for you. And the timestamps are going to be found in the description box in the comment thread down below, so you can easily access the pile. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to shuffle pile 1 first, and we're just going to pull the card that speaks to me the most. Okay, so we have the 7 of Cups coming from deck number 1. We have, oh, these are just falling out. The 3 of Cups for pile number 2. Okay, and then for the final deck, we have the 5 of Swords. Okay, so you can kind of sit with these for a moment. If you want to pause the video, you can. I'll get my hands out of the way so you can focus a little bit. You can breathe if you need to, do a little meditation. Which pile seems to be speaking to you the most? Go with that, and I'll see you in just a sec with the timestamps down below. All right, pile number 1, you selected the 7 of Cups, which tells me you may not know what the heck is going on, right? You may be having this sort of moment of confusion or frustration, feeling very lost in a sea of all these things you need to think about. Maybe you're thinking about your retirement or just surviving and paying your bills. Maybe you're thinking about like learning how to invest and you're just getting started and have no idea, or you're trying to start a business and you have no idea. So this is going to be one of those kind of, let's clarify, let's get some kind of grip on something, because there's not a lot of grip here with the 7 of Cups. So that's the starting point. And you know, there are the good thing about the 7 of Cups, though, I will say, is that there are a lot of options for you. Okay, there's a lot of options. There are possibilities, and I think really recontextualizing this in a way that says, okay, maybe the confusion is a good thing because there are so many options for me that I really just don't know which one to choose. That's a good thing. That's a good problem to have. So really it's about hunkering down and gaining some degree of focus in your life and really understanding what needs to come first, which element of this is going to be the most important, and then focusing on that one thing at a time. So maybe organizing it a little bit could be really beneficial for you. But let's see what else comes through for you in terms of the challenges that you're currently facing in addition to the 7 of Cups, and what is it that you need to be most considerate of. Okay, I actually love this card for you because this is a card of Scorpio. And Scorpio is a really big, it's a really big money sign. And we have that option to be highly financially oriented. Now, this also has a lot to do with other people's resources, which tells me that you need to incorporate other people into this process. This does not have to be a private process. All right. And maybe your struggle has been asking for help. Maybe your struggle has been exposing, right? Maybe there's some kind of level of secrecy or embarrassment, or you just really are feeling a little too novice. You know, so reaching out is going to be really, really important for you. I think having mentors and advisors and counselors, even if it's just people you find on TikTok or YouTube or whatever. The problem is, like with maybe like say a TikTok or Instagram or something, especially with the 7 of Cups, is that it can get very overwhelming and you don't want to attach yourself to someone or something that's a little too advanced for you for where you are. So you really need to be honest, and there's a lot of truth that comes here with that King of Cups that says you have to be brutally honest with where you are. If you're at the beginning stages, like if you're just starting fresh, regardless of your age, you have to be like, okay, I'm at the beginning here, and I'm going to need to treat this as though I am at the beginning. So going that route is going to be best for you. But talking to someone and counseling with someone and saying, this is where I'm at, this is what my bank accounts look like, this is my investment portfolio, this is this, this is this, this is this. Where do I go from here in order to get there? Also with the King of Cups, you really need to make sure that you know what your goals are. You know, if your goal is just to be able to pay rent, maybe you have an income issue, and maybe the best possible solution is to find a new job or to find a new stream of income that you can utilize that will help you do that. There are going to be some temporary measures that you probably are going to have to take in order to find this improved situation. This is not going to be a jump from point A to point Z all at once. There are going to be temporary measures that you're going to have to take. If you're at a job that you absolutely hate and you really want to start a business, but you don't have any safety whatsoever, the goal, I think, would be, like, the next step would be, how do I at least get out of a situation that I hate? You go find a new job with a company with better morale, better people, right? So you can make that jump. And then you can be at a place of better mental health, better stability, because I think stability is also really important with the King of Cups. Get yourself to a little bit more stability, and then you can focus on the business stuff as a side hustle and do whatever later, okay? But if it's baby steps, then it's baby steps, because getting out of this really cloudy mess, sometimes the fog doesn't always clear right away. Counselors, the proper advisors, the proper advice. You have to make sure you're getting advice from the right people for the right stage that you are in. You don't want to go from nothing to try to get into like day trading, because you might get really caught up and lose a lot. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. So we do want to be honest, okay? If there are temporary measures, you take them. And one thing I like about the King of Cups, though, is that he does have this laser sharp focus. So if you don't know what your financial goals truly are, this is a time to hunker down with a piece of paper or an Excel spreadsheet or something right in front of you and say, okay, this is my goal. This is what I want. This is what I need. And then devise some kind of a plan or strategy in order to get there. Okay, organization is going to be the remedy for the chaos of the Seven of Cups, or some semblance of strategy. See, there is something about stability with you. I'm going to pull out two more cards, 3 total. We're going to do 5 total. Okay. Because it does seem like you have a security mindset, right? You're looking for that ease. You are looking for the kind of the relaxation. You're looking for the comfort. I love the King and Queen of Cups here because this is an emotional thing for you. I think there's something deeply emotional going on with your relationship with money. There could be something deeply rooted from childhood or past lives. Now, I don't always advocate going on and doing past life regressions because I've done that before, and while I think there's a lot of goodness to it, I also really struggle because people get so caught up, I think, in something that's past, and they kind of take on this whole story of like, oh, this was my whole life. I don't think we need to be doing that when we're talking about our money and we're talking about our survival. I think what we should be doing is just saying, from this point, like, this is where I am here. So from this point moving on, what can I do? And just only keep it toward the future. But there is something deeply emotional going on here. So you have an attachment to an idea. You have an attachment to a way of life. You know, if you grew up in a specific way, now you may have grown up very wealthy or really not, or maybe totally medium. But there's like, I don't want to say it's a pain necessarily, but there's something that really has its hooks in you. And that's one of the reasons why maybe you're struggling to make that jump. And because you do seem to value security and balance and, some semblance of safety, you might be clinging on to what is known rather than being a little bit more open and branching out to what is not known. And while that's okay, you just have to understand that your process is going to require a little bit more security than maybe someone who's a little bit more risk tolerant. You may not have that degree of risk tolerance right now anyway. Maybe you will in the future once you start getting the hang of it. But right now, I don't know that you have the biggest risk tolerance. But you can still succeed without risk tolerance, right? You can still progress properly. And with the Seven of Wands, it does tell me that there is a little bit of you're going to have to push, okay? You're going to have to put this effort in, whether it's saving money, looking for a new job, looking for new streams of income, looking for new ways to invest, looking for more aggressive, techniques to grow your business, whatever it is. You're going to have to push, and you're going to have to get outside of that box, because I feel like this has definitely been a box. And it has been very confining and very confusing. And you've been sitting there wondering, how come I can't seem to get out? But you can see other people getting out, or you can see other people progressing, and you can see other people succeeding. And for some reason, you're just kind of in this funk. Okay, so it does feel like a funk, but it's just cloudy air. That's all it is. It is not anything real. It's not anything that you cannot overcome. And I look at this Seven of Wands as this is you deciding and saying, I'm going to overcome this issue. But for you, right? You King of Cups, you have to look at it. Okay, there's an element, Scorpio vision, right? We want to look at it with our eyeballs. And again, it can be a very objective experience. This is one thing that I talk a lot about in my readings is objectively, you can look at numbers on a piece of paper, look at your net worth, look at your balance sheet, look at your debt, look at your assets, look at all of that stuff. And you can say, well, this is where I am, and it's not to hurt your feelings or anything. It just is what it is. And you can go from there. And this is you determined to move on from there. And with the Queen of Cups here, I think this is something that, I know I'm going back and forth between emotional, not emotional. I think the stagnation and the Seven of Cups is emotional, but the progress moving forward is not. The Wands are fiery, right? We've got Cups and Wands. So this is not a stagnant kind of thing. There's a lot of flow with this. There's a lot of heat in this reading. So you have to kind of build up that desire. I want to have the money. I want to have the abundance. I want to have the prosperity, and I want to feel prosperous. One thing too with the Queen of Cups to keep in note is your actual emotional state. Right? Making sure. Now, she's deeply connected with our physical body. In traditional astrology, this is a Cancerian card ruled by the moon, Cancer and the moon, right? In traditional astrology, the moon is a symbol of our physical body. So the moon energy retains so much. And when we are healing through money wounds, a lot of other stuff can come up during this. But we want to make sure that our physical body is resonating at the frequency of abundance. So we do want to talk about gratitude. Absolutely. I think this is a huge component for you. And when I look at the Four of Wands, I know for a fact you already in your head are I have a lot of things that I can be grateful for in this exact moment. So it's not as though you're at a loss of looking around and saying, what can I be grateful for today? I think you know exactly what you're grateful for today. And I know you know exactly what you appreciate in your life right now today. So this appreciation, this gratitude is a physical body experience that helps to change the energetic field, as we know from law of attraction, manifestation type of stuff. And paying attention to how your physical body is actually reacting to this process. I will tell you that this Seven of Wands can be exhilarating. When you start to fight for what you want and you start putting in that effort and you start getting aggressive with it and you start saying, I'm going to make this happen, your physical body completely changes. And this is the epitome of putting your body into something, right? Put your back into it. That is how you are going to move the needle. You want to move the needle, you can't just do nothing. And as much as I love law of attraction manifestation, I think one of the things that the spiritual community really lacks when it comes to that type of stuff is talking about inspired action. This can be exciting and fun and motivating and something that makes you feel alive. It doesn't have to be like all this harsh effort, Like when you're focused on what you want and you're focused on where you're going, you can get a little bit more momentum a little bit faster because there's an essence of exhilaration. You can feel exhilarated to move in that direction of abundance. This is not drudgery. This is not like, oh, this is awful. That's not what the Seven of Wands is. This is because you care. This is because you have passion. This is because it matters. This is because it's time, right? And I think you do feel that it is time to really start pushing. And I'm going to tell you right now that if you get the right people in your corner, the right advisors, the right plan, the right strategy in place, and you start understanding how this can be manageable, how you can, start dollar cost averaging into your investment account or your retirement account, or you can start, moving money around here and there. You can start paying your bills properly. When you start having that plan in place, it's like, okay, I have control over this. Because this feels very out of control for me, this Seven of Cups, whereas the King of Coins, I keep saying King of Coins, there's clearly a connection there, right? The King of Cups is extremely controlled and dominant, right? Dominating your finances and saying, money, you work for me. You're doing what I tell you to do. I'm not some victim of my money. I'm not some victim of this circumstance. I'm the one. Right? Because money obeys our commands. The money doesn't spend itself, right? We go to the store, we spend it. We go to the work, we earn it, right? We command it. So remembering that we command the energy, we command the power, we command the money puts you in this more dominant position. And when you're in a more dominant position, you tend to take greater action. And when you take greater action, you start seeing greater results. Your whole physical body is going to change through this process. Your whole physical kind of feeling about it, your whole heaviness is going to start to lift. The clarity will come back. And again, this is slow because I do think you're going to need that security there. But slowly but surely, the fog will rise. Okay, I know that for a fact. I'm going to finish this off with an oracle card. So we're going to do one final with my moon deck here. Balance. Yeah, I don't want you to do anything so extreme. I think that's important for pile one. This is not a time for you to be doing all sorts of I want this process to be calm. And I want this process to be, again, manageable. These words I've been using, digestible. We are not trying to overwhelm ourselves in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so this is to treat yourself. This is to honor yourself as much as you possibly can. Honor what you need. And if you need security, that is okay. If you need balance, if you need safety, is all okay. You just have to plan around it. That's all. You just plan around it. So you don't have to create all this upheaval in your life. Okay? All right, pile one. You're going to do amazing. I just absolutely know it. Good luck with everything, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, pile number two, you selected the Three of Cups, so we're going to start with that. And this is definitely a much more lighthearted card than the other two piles. So it tells me that maybe you're not, I'm not saying that you don't have an issue that you're trying to focus on or you're trying to grow or whatever, but you're already going into this with a much better attitude and also a better circle. It's really important, right, that we pay attention to the people with whom we associate in all for just all of life, right? We're not trying to associate with people who are completely broke and have really bad attitudes about money, right? We absolutely don't want to be surrounding ourselves with people like that. We want to be around people who are talking about all their beautiful vacations and their new cars that they just bought and all these wonderful things they're doing in their businesses and all of this growth, because that is going to help push us up as well. Paying attention to your social circle is crucial. Okay, it's paying attention to what you listen to on podcasts and on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and all the social media things and YouTube, right? Who are you listening to? Whose voices are in your head? Because if you don't have the right voices, it's going to be really hard for you to get out of where you're trying to go. So, I mean, you can do it yourself, I know, but it's easier when you have a community involved. And if you're a part of something, or if you associate with people who are making moves, you're going to be more motivated because you say, oh, well, if they could do it, I can definitely do it. You know, if they can, I can. What's the difference between them and me? Nothing. So why not? Why not me? And I think that essence of self-belief is already a little bit more prominent in number 2, in pile number 2. Okay. So we're going to talk about what's blocking you and anything that you need to know or understand about what the issue is. Pile number 2. The 8 of Cups. Okay, it seems like you're in a transitionary phase right now. I'm not seeing like these dire straits. So if you are really struggling financially, you're already making this transition, and I think you've already made up your mind, your heart. You've made up your heart. This is definitely like a heart space kind of thing. In your heart of hearts, you know that it is time to move on. And I think that there are a lot of question marks ahead of you. You know, maybe you are moving into a new career space, or you are starting a new business, or maybe you've had a bigger life change, like you've just had a child, and now you're thinking about things in a completely different way. You know, it's not just you anymore. You've got family, you've got someone depending on you now. So it feels like the environment is different. And this different environment is requiring you to really go into an unknown place. And this could be something as simple as, you know, like I say, changing an industry, but it could also be getting more complex with your business structure or your investment strategies, or, you know, how all of your assets are set up and arranged and legally, you know, all of that. So I think you are in this process of leveling up in a powerful, beautiful way, but it is more complicated, and it is going to require more education and more dedication, and it's going to require a little bit more attention to things. And so you're going to have to put your attention into your finances right now. So if you have to hire people, or if you have to talk to people, advisors, counselors, financial advisors, whomever, to get yourself to that next level, please make sure that you're putting that energy into it. I think if you were to stagnate, you would be very regretful. With the 8 of Cups, it's one of those things where we're just sort of moving on, but there are still a lot of choices, and our choices do matter. Our choices do have an impact. So if we are choosing to not do things, even though our heart says, go on, grow, learn these things, go expand, go try to figure it out, go, we're going to start to have that kind of resistance, and it's going to be problematic. So we want to make sure that we are actually taking these steps. One thing about the 8 of Cups, though, is it's not really that fast. So this is not a fast process for you. So I don't want you to put pressure on yourself in terms of time frame. Okay, this is not a good idea, because if you start putting yourself under the pressure cooker, this process is not going to be enjoyable. And any money wounds that you have, any money trauma that you have could start coming back up. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to feel afraid again. What if I can't do it? What if I'm not going to be able to pay my bills? What if I'm not going to be able to do X, Y, and Z? And that is not the right frequency to be tapping into right now. We want the growth frequency. That's why 3 of Cups, the people with whom you surround yourself, people who are doing better than you. Okay, it's all about getting to that up leveling, people who are doing better than you. So if you don't have actual people in your life, the good news is we have the internet, right? We may not have had that 50 years ago, but we have it now. So you can get on the internet and listen to billionaires and multi-millionaires and people who are doing it and killing it. And you can go to the bookstore and you can buy books. Like, there is no limit to where you can learn from. No limit to the people that you can surround yourself with nowadays. Okay, so you want to make sure you're listening to the right people. So what are the next steps for pile number 2? What are the next steps? Pile number 2. 9 of Coins. a King of Cups. And we're only doing 5 cards today in the Chariot. Oh my gosh. I don't know that you have problems. Like, I'm not sitting here saying like you have all these blockages. I think you just have a journey. That's all. You don't have problems. You just have a journey ahead of you. And it's a beautiful journey. And what I love about the 9 of Coins is the self-worth. That this is a phoenix rising from the ashes type of story. So Phoenix rising from the ashes, or rags to riches, however you want to view it. For a money reading, let's do rags to riches, okay? You may have had struggle. You may have had strife. You may have had survival mode going for a long time. But this transition that you're in is meant to get you out. That's why you have to focus. And we have the King of Cups here. Now, the King of Cups is a Scorpio card. Scorpio is a money sign. We love that. I love seeing Scorpio. I love seeing Taurus. I love seeing Aquarius being present in these readings, because these are signs of money, and these are signs that have a lot to do with how we treat and how we relate to money. This one is very dominant and very controlling and very powerful, and it pays attention. Okay. This is like, Scorpio is associated with like our eyes and our eyesight and whatnot, and our focus and being able to see things clearly. And I think with that King of Cups, this is about gaining a laser sharp focus. So here's the first thing you need to do. You need to know where you're going. What does this 9 of Coins, this place of ultimate abundance, this place of perfection, what does this really look like? So this is the vision board type of stuff. When we're talking about money, I want you to be specific in terms of maybe an amount of money. You don't have to go all the way. You don't have to be like, oh, I want to be a billionaire. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe for now you say, well, I would really love to make $1 million this year. Maybe that's a realistic point for you. Maybe it's 100,000, maybe it's just to get a new job. Like, I want you to be big picture with this King of Cups, because he pushes and he has that ambition. Okay, this is like a very Martian, Plutonic quality. So we want to tap into that inner warrior a little bit. We want to be like, God, masculine, strong. We want to have that. So we want to push, but we also don't want to make it delusional to the point where like, come on, right? 0 to $1 million in a year, is that feasible? Yeah, it is. We see people doing it all the time on TikTok and whatever. Like, is it feasible? Yes. Okay. 0 to 100,000. Is that feasible? Yes. 0 to $1 billion in a year? Probably not. Okay. Let's be somewhat realistic about it. So, we want to have the goal, the strategy, ultimately where we want to go. Because if we don't know where we're going, this 8 of Cups, we can get lost. Because it's like, all right, well, we're transitioning. But see, the thing about this path is it's very clear. It's going to a new planet. Literally, it is walking you up to an entirely new planet. It's a small, narrow path. And you detour, you fall off. I don't think you're going to do that. I really don't. I'm seeing you staying the course, but you kind of need to know what the course is. So a strategy, and you can talk to someone about that if you need to. If you need to talk to an advisor or a accountant or a CPA or whoever, please do that. Other people who know more than you, the experts, okay? All different types of experts in all different types of field, trading, investing, real estate, whatever your focus is, okay? But you got to get clear, because you need to know that if you stick to this path, that's going to be the path of least resistance. That's going to be the best way to do it. But if you just haphazardly move into something and blah, like you could get lost, you could fall off, you could stumble. The goal is to not stumble again, right? I mean, we'll have more problems and different things later on, but the goal is to not trip up. The goal is to not have that many setbacks if you can help it, right? At least what's under your control. I know the economy and everything, but at least with what's under your control, the goal is to not have setbacks. This is deeply rooted in our sense of self-worth. Okay. And I think actually finding that balance between because we could sit here and say, okay, I want $1 billion. Is that really doing anything for your self-worth at this point? But if you have a goal that pushes you, that challenges you, gets you to kind of light up on fire a little bit, but also, like, yeah, I can do it. And yeah, I feel confident that I can achieve that. That's going to do wonders for your confidence, wonders for your sense of self-worth, especially when you actually start implementing the plan and you start taking those steps very specifically and you start seeing the growth and you start seeing the changes. We want to put you in a situation where you actually can see things with your eyeballs. You can see the numbers in your account going up. You can see the number of assets that you acquire going up, right? You can see everything increasing. So the plan is important. Because I'm looking at this Chariot card, I'm like, you are so close to getting out of this. You are so close to ascending and transcending this particular circumstance. It's not even funny. You're so close. But there has to be new levels of implementation. This card right here is ruled by Virgo, the Nine of Coins. It's a Virgo card. And the Virgo energy is about application. It's about taking what you learn and putting it to good use. Because if you don't put it to good use, it is completely pointless, right? It's one, like, when we think of like Virgo, I kind of tie it to the Hermit card in the Major Arcana. And he's like the wise one, right? But wisdom comes from the acting upon the knowledge. It's living the knowledge. It's the embodiment of the knowledge. So just knowing, my cat's hyper, just knowing is not enough. It has to be implemented. It has to be integrated into your real life. Coins, earth, action, physical. It has to be implemented into the reality. Okay, so you have to get your hands on it. You have to actually move the money around. You actually have to go get that new job. You have to actually start the investment account. You have to actually start the things. You have to use your hands. You have to use your body and go do the things. Massively underrated in law of attraction, manifestation type of stuff. Okay? Oh, I'm so sorry. So we absolutely need to focus on that stuff, okay? Because the goal is to move on, to open that new chapter, to fall in love with your life, to get yourself to that place of abundance, because that is, the Chariot is a point A to point B type of deal. The Chariot does not like detours. This Eight of Cups does not like detours. The King of Cups does not like detours. Pile number 2, I get it. You don't like detours. I get it. You don't like taking all these windy, twisty paths to get to where you want to go. Okay, so don't do that. So get your plan in order, get the plan of action, get the budget in order, get everything in order. Okay, this has to be like super, super tight, super clear, super on point with everything, okay? That's got to be like priority number 1. And then you can start thinking about your income stream, because this Nine of Coins is really, really, it draws a lot in. So if it's just a job for right now, fine. Get a better job, get more income, great. But if there's something else you can do, a product you can sell, a service you can sell, whatever the case may be, maybe you can do that on the side, more income. You write a book, sell it, more income. Digital marketing, sell it, more income, right? Where all your little channels of little income, but really thinking about the structure for the spending, structure for the current lifestyle, the way it is right now, but also how do I bring in more, okay? Because we want both. We want the flow of inflow and outflow. If it's just outflow, that's fine. And if you're surviving, then that's fine, but that's not really going to level you up. We need more in if we want to have more go out. Okay? But I think you're on a fantastic track. And I think your heart is absolutely in the right place. And I think this is so much more feasible than you realize. Okay? So good luck with everything. Thank you so much. You guys know I love you. Have an amazing journey, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, pile number 3. You selected the 5 of Swords. Why did you select the 5 of Swords? Because you are in a really tough spot, right? Because money may make you feel quite powerless, like it's like a thing that you just can't seem to either figure out, or you can't seem to get yourself to that next level. You can't quite seem to get to a place of peace. And I think this is a very disruptive aspect of your life. And it's something that might be, really souring other areas of your life. For example, like romantic relationships. Romance and money astrologically, right? Venus, the ruler of both, rules Taurus and Libra, which is a sign of like marriage, right? So we have this like love, money connection that goes on. It may also really impact just your overall sense of self-worth. And you may have this intrinsically deep belief that without money, you are not worth as much. So there's something very deep. Whenever this card comes out, I often feel like it's like a falcon or an eagle that has its talons in you. It's just like the hooks are just really, really deep. And it is hard to get out of a situation like that. However, that's what this reading is for. So we're going to kind of set this one over here. It's kind of like where you're at. And let's really talk about the challenges here, the obstacles that you're genuinely dealing with. Pile number 3. Okay. Well, the challenge is money. Yeah, I mean, obviously. But I also think it has a lot to do with how you view opportunities. And how, like, when the universe hands you something, do you accept it? Do you receive? Because the 5 of Swords is not a place of receptivity at all. And there may be opportunities that have come knocking on your door and you either completely did not recognize them, or you completely wrote them off because maybe you are very stuck. And so it's really important to reevaluate some of these belief structures that you have around money and these belief structures around what you believe you deserve. Because if the universe is handing you opportunities and you are not taking them, how is it that the Ace of Coins, literally for a financial reading, how is this the obstacle? This is the channel. This is the vehicle. This is the potential, and it is everywhere. But your perception is very, like, he's not even looking. He's looking in completely the opposite direction. Your focus is elsewhere. So we need to reconstruct the perception and reconstruct how you are conceptualizing things, especially the way you are conceptualizing the way you see yourself becoming abundant. Because it tells me that you may have a very limited and narrow view of how you're planning on becoming wealthy, of how you are planning on up-leveling your life. For example, you may think all you need is a better job, when maybe what you really need to do is start a business. Now, I'm not suggesting you put yourself in a place where you don't have security and safety and you're not surviving. Please don't do that. But I am telling you that this path is probably not at all what it is you think it's going to look like. And if you are writing things off and you are rejecting things because it's not the way you think it's going to look, that is fixable. First of all, you can fix that. And second of all, that's what needs to change. So the real trick here, I think, is working on your mind, because again, these swords, something's got its hooks in you, and it's a losing battle. You either evolve or you're just going to stay in this place for the rest of your life. Okay, so evolution is absolutely essential. And I think there's a big part of you that really, really wants to evolve, really wants to move on, really wants to get over this, because it's not that great. It might feel miserable. Like this 5 of Swords is kind of a miserable place to be. And while I'm not suggesting that you're in complete dire straits, I mean, you may have a really great, solid job. Maybe you have a retirement account, investments and all that. You may have all that stuff, but like, I feel like you've capped off. And the reason is because you've just hit a wall, and that's all. And so we need to reconstruct the perception a little bit. So let's pull out the final 3 cards and see what else pile 3 needs to know. What else do you need to know here? Pile 3. Death. Okay, well, there's the transformation. This is what I mean. Like, this is a deep overhaul. 7 of Wands and 3 of Coins. All right. I love, love, love the 3 of Coins. There's something about your creativity, okay? And either you don't value your creativity, you don't see it, you don't understand it, you don't appreciate it in yourself. There's something going on with the way you see the value that you put out into the world. You are a highly valuable individual. Everybody is. And in a way that makes us both unique and not unique. We are all unique and we are all not unique at the same time. We are unique in the way we express, but we are not unique in the fact that we all do it. And we all have special talents and we all have special skills. And I think you are massively undervaluing something that is incredibly special about yourself. You are massively undervaluing this beautiful spirit and this beautiful talent that you have, or you are putting so much pressure on it that you are missing what makes it so wonderful. Now, what I like about the 3 of Coins is that there are other people in this card. And sometimes it's very helpful to counsel with other people or to get an idea of how other people see you and to see the value that you have in their life. And I know it's kind of weird to like walk up to your friends and be like, why do you like me? Or why are we friends? Why? That's kind of a weird conversation. I get it. But also sometimes like that can be a helpful conversation of like, I don't know why I feel this way, but I just, I need to know, like, what do you see that's special about me? And what do you see that's special about this talent? What do you see that's special about me that I do like this or like that, and get a little bit more specific, like get that feedback, right? Feedback can be especially important because sometimes we realize like the way we see ourselves is not how the way the world views us at all. And when we see ourselves through the lens of others, sometimes we can soften up on ourselves because this feels I feel like you're being very hard on yourself and you're demanding so much perfection or so much of something. You're demanding so much. But I think there's a fight in you. 7 of Wands, the Death card, right? There's a fight. You have the fire, you have the desire, and there is this aspect of you that says like, I'm going to find a way out. There's no defeatism here. I don't see you being defeated, but I do see you like saying, I'll do whatever I need to do with this Death card. But this Death card requires a complete and utter death of an identity. And the identity is deeply rooted in this mental, psychological thing. Okay? So maybe you thought money was really bad, or maybe you think rich people are really bad, or you think, people who go and ask for money is really bad. Like I still get people on my channel all the time being like, I cannot believe you charge extra for these comprehensive readings. I'm like, yeah, well, I've got a life, I have a mortgage, I have things I have to pay for. Like I need to earn money, and I'm never going to apologize for asking for that value, right? I'll never apologize for it. And it's some people just like, I can't believe you're going to ask for money. I can't believe you're going to do that. I can't believe and so maybe there's something there. There's that fear of like asking for money, that fear, because like, oh, that money means something about my value, that there's like this intrinsic connection here. Oh, if I only ask for a little bit, yeah, maybe, well, I'll get this person to like me enough that they're going to want to give me the money. It's all very like, but death is like, oh, enough, rip that apart. That is not good. Right? Everyone deserves money. Everyone deserves to have comfort and peace and ease and relief in their life. You deserve relief, okay? Maybe that's the one word you need to really cling on to is ease and relief. Maybe it's not really about money right now. Maybe it's about a feeling, a way of being. It's about an essence, an embodying of an essence. But this identity, this death, this transformation, it is deeply rooted. It is in the actual molecules of your body, right? There is a need for this. Now, the way you go through that transformation, though, is by challenging yourself with that Seven of Wands. So with the Three of Coins, incorporating other people. Now, it's not just about like, what do you think about me, right? Three of Coins is also, I see blueprints, I see strategy, I see like plans and very specific detail of how you are going to get from point A to point B. This can be really hard to do on your own if you are in this Five of Swords place and your obstacle is the actual opportunity itself. This is why having objective third parties can be very beneficial. Now, this also came out in the other two piles, so it seems clear that everyone really needs to hear there are other people that you can employ. There are other people you can learn from. There are other people who know more than you, who can help guide you explicitly out of this place and into the next one. Because this is so deeply rooted, I don't know that you're going to just be on board with everything all at once. I really don't. I think this has to be a slow integration. So a plan is essential. And taking these baby steps and slowly acclimating yourself into this new rhythm is going to be a process. Death is not a fast thing by any stretch of the imagination. So I would give yourself long periods of time to do this. Do not put time pressure on yourself at all. The more time pressure you put on yourself, the more miserable this experience is going to be. You don't just leave the Five of Swords behind like that. Boom. You really don't. Okay? Because it is so deep inside and you are physically changing with this experience, we don't want to shock ourselves because that shock can sort of slingshot us back into where we've been. So the goal is to slowly change habits. Slowly change mindset, slowly get over the cognitive dissonance that we are bound to experience, because there is no doubt you will experience some cognitive dissonance during this. Your head's going to say one thing, your heart's going to say another, your physical body's going to be torn between the two, and you're going to stagnate, and that's not what we want. What we want is success. Three of Coins to me is a promise of success. But this is a builder's energy. Okay, we're trying to build something here. So what we need is a plan. Plan is always good when we're talking about something finite like money, something real, something tangible. Let's put a plan together. We're going to build a building. Okay, we need a plan. We're going to build a business. Okay, we need a plan. We want to build wealth. Okay, we need a plan. So we plan. And the Seven of Wands, like I say, is that fight. It's that fight in you that's not ready to just succumb and surrender to your current circumstance. And the more you have this plan together and the more and more you consciously, slowly integrate and slowly implement this plan, the more and more momentum you will gain. And the more momentum you gain, the more changes you will see. And once you start seeing those changes, you're going to start to believe the possibility that this actually may work. And I think what we need to do is to get you to that place of like hope and that place of miracles and that place of like really looking forward toward what could be, because that's not what the Five of Swords is. This looks backwards in terms of what has been. And releasing that stuff, it's a lot. And I think there is a lot of money karma for pile 3, and a lot of money lessons, and a lot of money obstacles. And through this process, through the death process, I feel like you're going to find extraordinary deep levels of self-love and self-appreciation too. Okay, that there is some degree of finding that vigor, because I don't know, like whatever money stuff you've got going on, I don't, Like, do you feel exhilarated in your life? Do you feel like you can wake up in the morning and jump up out of bed and be really excited? Or do we have this really dark cloud continually hanging over us day in and day out? You know? So what I'm really sensing is a complete life overhaul through money, through your relationship with wealth. This will improve every area. It will improve your romantic relationships. It will improve your career. It will improve your reputation. It will improve your social life. It will improve your physical health as well. So this is an overall massive improvement of what's going on. Money is the vehicle. Money is the tool. So we want to utilize the tools that we have at our disposal. It's literally on your doorstep, the Ace of Coins. The opportunity is everywhere, but you have to look at it. Okay? You have to say, what can I do? You have to open up your spectrum, open up the paradigm, and start seeing opportunities that you would never consider and think, you know what? Yeah, maybe. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I will try it. Maybe I will budge a little bit because I'm sensing a stubbornness with the Five of Swords. Maybe I will budge. Maybe I will adjust. Maybe I will evolve, because at this rate, that's really the only choice. And with the Death card, yeah, you really only have a choice. You either evolve or you stay put. It's literally on your doorstep. Okay, so maybe you're still a little closed-minded. So what you need to do, get online. Right? Number one, just get online, get on the internet. You're already here. You're already here on this video. So you get online and you start asking the questions that you need to. Do you need to earn more money? What skill do you need to learn? But you also need to know yourself. You need to know what lifestyle you want. Some people are really hustle oriented. They like the high stress. I hate that. So I've constructed my whole life around like peace. That was me, right? And I asked for that back in 2017 when I was living in Bali, and I was like, I just want a life where I can just be calm. And then I came home from Bali and Budapest, and I moved to Vegas, and then I bought this house, and now I have like all the peace in the world, and I couldn't be happier, right? Because that's just what I structured my lifestyle around. So you need to find ways to earn money, to open up opportunities that are conducive to the type of lifestyle that you want to live. You want to travel all around the world? Well, you need a job that's going to let you do that, right? You want to be able to go hide in the woods for the rest of your life? Well, you need a job that's going to be able to let you do that, or an income stream that's going to let you do that. And there are so many. I mean, is it starting a business? Maybe. Is it selling a product? Maybe. Is it teaching something? Maybe. Is it inventing something, getting a patent on something? Like, is it a discovery in a lab? Like, whatever it is, we all have different skill sets. We all have different ideas. But if that's something that you're passionate about and the world really needs it and you're good at it, and yeah, you can make money at it, that's your thing. Okay, but you may need to do a lot of soul seeking during this and really ask yourself, like, what could this be? Because right now, I think it's a matter of income, that you're rejecting actual opportunities for income, which is, clearly not going to help you. So we need to open up. All right. You get the plan in place. You talk to people. You get advice. You get the strategy. And the way you can do this too is you can set up like a year-long goal. From here to this point next year, where do you want to be in 12 months? And then you break that down to 6 months, and then 3 months, and then 2 months, 1 month, week 4, week 3, week 2, week 1, day 7, day 6, day 5, day 4, day 3, day 2, day 1. Like, you can do that if you really want. You can backwards engineer it like that. Right? And you can put that out. And you can wake up every day and you can do it. The 7 of Wands, like, are you going to commit? Because if you're like, this fire is in you, this commitment energy is in you, but you have to draw it out and you have to actually put it into practice. You have to implement. So this is going to require a lot of, kind of upfront effort from you. And it's going to be a test of your determination. I don't see defeatism, and I don't see denial, and I don't see you running away from this. I see you confronting it, because I don't think you really like being in this Five of Swords place. Okay? All right. I think I actually forgot to pull out an oracle card for pile 2. Oops. Let's go ahead and pull this final card out for pile 3. Trust. Oh my gosh, please. Yes, trust. Trust this process. This Five of Swords is so rooted in distrust and skepticism, and just like there's a lot of fear mongering there. And so like, that's projection from other people. You learn that from other people. That is not you. It is not who you are. This is about trust in the divine, trust in your higher self, trust in God, the universe, whatever word you want to use, okay? But trust that this can be done. Trust that you are capable. Trust that you are able, because you are, absolutely. And the Three of Coins, I think, is a marker of like, you're going to do this. It really is. You are absolutely going to do this. So this was kind of a lot, but I think you're ready to hear the message. I really do. I think you're ready to tap into the greater levels, the greater happiness, the greater success. You absolutely deserve it. So go forth and succeed. All right? Thanks.